in this video, we're going to talk about advertorials. More specifically, we are going to look at the funnel of Performance Golf, which is a company that did over 100 million already last year. Mostly they sell every type of golf equipment you can imagine, and in this video we're going to specifically focus on the advertorial for this square set trainer. So we're going to break down the complete advertorial in terms of the sections, in terms of the way that they write the copy, hit the pain points, hit the desires, right? So just recorded this 20-minute video where I break down every single word on this advertorial together, so you can also apply it to you, to your product, to your offer, to your store, and make more money. Now let's get straight into this, right? So essentially advertorials, right? What is the main use case for them? Nowadays, consumers are less willing to buy while your ad costs are increasing and more competition is entering the market, right? So the mistake that most people do is they obsess too much with their ads and product pages rather than working with preset pages and utilizing the full funnel. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. We've done this for hundreds of brands over the last couple of years, helping them increase their revenue anywhere from 25 to sometimes 110% year on year, right? So more than double their revenue. And the high level overview of advertorial funnels is that we essentially send prospecting ads to an advertorial. From there, we send them to an offer page, and from there into the cart or even directly into the checkout. Now, one of the main concepts that I want to talk about before deep diving into the advertorial is that selling to people is creating a separation between where they are and where they want to be, and then positioning your product as a vehicle to get them from where they are to where they want to be. For that, you need to have a really great understanding of the current state of the prospect, so where are they now with their pain points, problems, and beliefs, and you need to have a really great understanding of where they want to be with their goals, desires, and aspirations, and then how to position your product as the vehicle that bridges the gap and gets them from where they are to where they want to be. And then another thing that's super, super important, which most marketers just not get right, is that they don't hit the pain threshold of the consumers. What I mean with that is a concept from Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins talks about this all of the time, that pain is a really, really great motivator, right? And you're going to see this in a lot of videos in e-commerce talking about you need to hit pain, talk about pain points, yada, 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 right? But the one thing that changed everything for me in my marketing is the concept of a pain threshold, because people can endure pain, right? You're going to see a lot of fat people and they don't do a diet, right? Because they didn't experience enough pain to get the motivation to act, right? So every single person has a certain pain threshold. So you need to really hit the pain points a lot to hit that pain threshold, because only if you surpass their emotional pain threshold, then they get the motivation to act, which is in this case buying your product, right? So essentially, high level, the way that they do it here, and what we're going to talk about now, is how they really hit the pain points, hit the desires, and then position their product as the unique mechanism to help them get rid of all of their pain points and help them achieve all of their desires. The high-level overview of this specific advertorial is we have the above the fold, right, with the hook, with building trust and introducing the product. We then have a listicle, which is super easy to skim through 5 reasons why this is a great product and it's going to help them get rid of the pain points. We then introduce the unique mechanism, explain how they came up with this product and the features of the product. We then build trust, meaning we give them a proof story, we give them social proof, we introduce the product with all of the features and benefits and tie it to the benefits of the consumer, and then give them a lot of social proof with a specific story, right? At the bottom, we then have the risk reversal with the money back guarantee, call to action, really hitting more of their pain points, another call to action, social proof stack, another call to action. We then have the close at the bottom of the page, and then the last call to action. Again, obviously, we're going to break this down in great detail now, but just wanted to give you the high-level overview. So what we're going to do now is not only break down the way that this advertorial is built, but also break down the copy, right? So I'm going to color grade this a bit to make this easier to follow, right? We do have 3 main things that we want to watch out for, which is the unique mechanism, the way they hit the pain points, and the way they talk about the desire, right? So let's just get started with this. Now, if we look at the hood, right, Top PGA Pro says this is the last training aid you will ever need, right? So last training aid you will ever need. This is obviously the desire, right? Because if we think about the audience, then mainly they don't want to just churn through different options. They want to have one option that's the best for them, right? They want you to buy new training aids every year, right? So this is a pain point, buy new training aids every year. But this fear-based feedback swing trainer could be the last one you ever need, right? So they start with the pain point. They say, hey, you currently buy new training aids every year. Then they introduce you the unique mechanism and say, this is going to be completely different. And they give it a name, which is the fear-based feedback swing trainer. And then they say, this is the last one you ever need, right? The only swing trainer designed to give you instant fear-based feedback, right? Instant fear-based feedback. This is the unique mechanism they're going to use throughout. So you gain total club face control, right? So this seems like a desire, club face control, better ball striking with every club in the bag. Golfers, I'm going to share with you the truth about fixing your biggest contact mistakes and transform your ball striking. Fixing your club face control so you make flush contact shouldn't be complicated. Right, this is a pain point. It feels complicated for users. Advances in modern golf technology have made it possible to feel correct feedback at key position as you swing, so you naturally clear the face-it impact and eliminate off shots. Right, so this is something that they want. Eliminate off shots. A new company called Performance Golf was recently featured on Golf Channel, showcasing a revolutionary swing trainer for amateur golfers that eliminates poor contact and delivers game-changing results. Right, so here we then have a quick listicle that we can kind of skim. Provides instant fear-based feedback, right? So here they always link it to the unique mechanism. Use the square set swing trainer to achieve perfect club face control. Gain more consistency, improve your ball striking every shot. Makes hitting accurate shots much easier, right? So this is unique mechanism and a lot of their desires. Feedback technology gives you automatic club face control. Square set has been engineered to optimize your feel feedback at every. Get ready for perfect club face control so you hit your target line and strike more shots pure. Eliminate poor contact instantly. Traditional training aids, no matter how expensive and premium, often fail to provide instant feedback throughout your swing, right? Causing those dreaded slices and hooks. But the square set's fear-based feedback guarantees square club face from setup to impact, reducing those embarrassing misses, instilling confident swing on your very first shot, right? So you can see, which is also a bit interesting, after we go through the listicle completely, you see results fast. Is that here, for example, it's only unique mechanism desire, and then here we have a couple of pain points, desire, right? So as you can see, we're going to have this throughout the whole advertorial. It's always going to be a mixture of hitting pain, hitting the desires, and then somewhat positioning the product in between to bridge the gap. On your first swing with the square set, you will notice a significant difference in your club face control and ball striking, squaring your club face automatically. Even if you don't have a perfect swing, this saves most amateur golfers, saves 4 to 6 strokes on the very first round. This isn't like any other swing trainer out there. Increase your confidence on any shot. One of the first things golfers notice after trying the square set is the boost in confidence, right? You feel it the very first time you use it. Less stress, making more solid contact constantly will be a new default. You may notice how much easier the game feels and when you're not mishitting offline shots on far too many holes, right? That's what they don't want. So let's just zoom out a bit so you can see it with the color coding. Here you can see that we always, as I said, right? So it's always going to be a mixture of pain point, desire, and then the unique mechanism. Now, the next that we do, as you see, we have the above the fold with the hook, the trust, and interesting product. We then have the listicle, which is 5 reasons why this is great. And then we really start diving deep into the unique mechanism with the origin story and the features of the product. What makes the square set fly off the shelves and sell out in 2 days? Use the square set swing trainer to achieve perfect club face control, gain more consistency, and improve your ball striking on every shot. It makes hitting accurate shots much easier. Consulting with golf engineers, top swing coaches, and seasoned instructors from all over this great country, Performance Golf researched what worked and what didn't work in traditional swing trainers. They sought to create a trainer that could replace traditional methods that are hard to master and add mechanical swings throughout. First, they pioneered a unique fear-based feedback system that guarantees square club face at impact. Took almost 2 years to perfect our flagship trainer, the square set, but when we finally got it right, as they say, the rest is history. And your fat shots, thin shots, and other miss hits are history too. Right? Then they added advanced materials and weighting system that makes the square set the only trainer that gives you no choice but to square the club face for flush contact without manipulating your wrist or having too level skills. This is a Golf Pro approved swing trainer. You deserve to practice with the best equipment modern technology and science has to offer. When will you see noticeable results, right? So since Performance Golf started testing this trainer in 2023, over 33,000 golfers have eliminated fat shots, thin shots, and other mishits with the square sets. You see noticeable results on your very first swing. And you keep hitting even the most difficult shots with improved contact and accuracy every time you play. We recommend keeping track of how many fairways and greens you improve ball striking is giving you. Watch how it improves your scores. Putting it to the test, oh boy, was he surprised. It arrived pretty quickly within a couple business days, right? So here we have the next section, which is then the proof story and the social proof. Of course, it came with a few other golf accessories I had ordered, but I had the urge to try this one first. I kind of had the feeling if this didn't work, nothing was going to help my ball striking, right? So I immediately took it to the range. Having the feeling of being square at the top at impact and throughout the entire swing made me feel really confident. Plus, it wasn't overly heavy or awkward, like some trainers tend to be, which is great. There's no setup, and I found it super comfortable and natural to use. It's small enough to fit in the side pocket of my bag. The next morning when I played 9 holes, I didn't expect to see any difference just yet. After all, nothing works after just one round, right? In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it took weeks to see a difference if I saw any at all. Well, that was wrong. The square set actually worked way better than I thought because, believe it or not, it did not take weeks. In fact, right, so they want to get results quickly, which is another desire. In fact, the very first round I played after using the square set, my ball striking felt much more controlled, right? So here we then showcase the product and also showcase how it helps them get better results. Designed to give you perfect feedback at every point in your swing. My shots were a bit more consistent too. Nothing too crazy, but I saved at least 4 to 5 shots. Now, I still had 2 or 3 misses, but I did feel a big difference, something I hadn't seen for a long time. And that was after just one session. So that's when I started getting really excited. I felt the hope coming back for the first time in years. Because if it took just one session to see it change, imagine what could happen after a few more. Imagine once I get the feel for it. Well, I'll tell you what happened. My miss-hit offline shots didn't pop us up as much, right? The inconsistency in my ball striking was almost gone completely. I honestly couldn't believe it. I felt like I was just given a second lease on my golf game, right? I don't mean to be dramatic, but that's how I feel. I've started receiving a lot of compliments from the guys. Even my club pro assumed I worked hard to improve my swing so drastically. Because it truly made me strike the ball like a respectable golfer and with a lot more confidence too. My friends noticed a difference right away, right? So here also from the peer group. They thought I had finally started taking lessons. But the truth is my good shots had nothing to do with the drastic swing changes. And the fact nobody was telling me how inconsistent I was anymore was a reward enough in itself. I couldn't help but smile every time I stepped to the ball. I was looking at the new me. I know it sounds like some fairy tale. Still don't really believe in myself. Fast forward to as I'm writing this, and I still used to train at every single practice session. I'm even making practice swings within my garage at night. Lol, my wife loves that. Because the thing is, with this trainer, I don't have to hit balls. I just need to feel it, right? And it has not only fixed my misses and made my ball striking more consistent, it's completely rejuvenated my enjoyment of the game. Chunky irons are a thing of the past. Thin warm burners are almost gone. And my confidence is at an all-time high. I feel like a golf pro. This is truly the real deal. So it begs the question, will it work for you? To be honest, can't say with 100% certainty that it will. But if you've been struggling with those awful mishits, inconsistencies for a long time, nothing else has worked. Highly recommend this. It has completely changed my ball striking and about 33,000 other golfers too. So do yourself a favor, give it a try. Even if you're skeptical, if this could actually work, you have no idea how much of a difference something so small and simple can make. Plus, they want you to get results or you don't pay. So there's nothing to lose. Now, let's zoom out of this 1 second, right? Because I want to take a higher level overview to this, right? Obviously, now we checked a lot for the color grading, but another thing that you can do, right? As you're going to see, they essentially have a really good understanding of the customer avatar pain points and desires, right? So for example, one thing that we see oftentimes with the desires that they talk about all of the time is confidence, right? Confidence, enjoyment of the game, right? Better ball striking, more control, right? So I'm just going to go through all of these green ones. Game-changing results, consistency, makes it easier, yada, yada, yada. And the one thing that I found super interesting was what he was talking about here. It felt like I was a new me. This is a real deal, right? On the other hand, pain points, right? So pain points that they use over and over again are mishits, embarrassment, right? Make complications. So essentially what you want to do in the beginning is just have a good overview of what are the main pain points and what are the main desires. And then you just literally hit the same 3 to 5 things throughout the whole advertorial, right? So while I'm reading through this, you're probably going to notice that we're just using the same words over and over and over again in different ways. So we use them in a listicle format. We use them as a point of view story, like this one guy who was talking about it from a point of view, right? So we just bombard them again and again with the same things. Now, the next sections are the risk reversal, call to action, hitting more pain points, and then it's almost the end, right? So risk reversal, what we do here. Where can I buy the square set? Performance Golf square set. Swing Trainer is exclusively sold on the website. They currently have a special promotion running where new customers get 50% off and free shipping. All orders come with their 1-year money-back guarantee. Simply put, you will either love the square set or you get your money back, no questions asked, right? So what they do here is obviously completely take away any risk that you have with purchasing the product. So you can try the square set completely risk-free. That means if you're not 100% satisfied with your purchase, Performance Golf will return your investment, every single penny, with zero hard feelings, no hassles, no annoying hoops to jump through, no questions asked. They know the likelihood of that happening is low, and that's because Performance Golf has spent years perfecting this game-changing swing trainer for amateurs. So what does it mean for you? It means you're getting the best quality swing trainer to help fix your fat shots, thin shots, and other mishits and flush straight. Fat shots, thin shots, other mishits, and flush straight shots automatically without changing your swing fundamentals. They're so confident the square set is the solution you've been searching for. If you aren't 110% satisfied, then Performance Golf will return your money, right? So here we have the first call to action after we have all of the risk reversal that's going on here. Now, this is the call to action, apply discount, check availability, right? So we always like to have a call to action like this where it's not buy it now, but rather like check if it's still available. So this is a really nice scarcity frame, right? Where it's not really pushy where we say, okay, you have to buy it now, but rather like see if it's still available because we have so many people that want it. And this could be the end of the advertorial, right? This call to action, because we've gone through everything. But essentially, we have 2 more or 3 more interesting sections, right? So we have this section here where we hit more of their pain points. We then have a proof of happy customers, and then we have the close. So essentially, we have 3 more sections after this. Now with this section, because we've given them so much trust, proof, pain points, desires before, this is really about hitting their pain threshold, right? So let's read through this together now. How much longer will you struggle with poor ball striking that kills your confidence? The Square Sets provides you with groundbreaking fear-based feedback technology that guarantees square club face at impact, helping you eliminate poor contact without practice more, spending hours on the driving range, or changing your swinging fundamentals at all. Right? According to golf experts, most traditional training aids that claim to improve your contact have a hidden design flaw that makes controlling your club face even harder. That's why when you try other training aids, you experience more unpredictable breakthrough impact, causing those frustrating misses, inconsistent ball striking, and low confidence on the course. So the training aid you may be using that's supposed to help you could actually be killing contact and increasing your scores. The Square Set gives you instant fear-based feedback throughout your swing at a fraction of the cost of traditional golf lessons. Right? That means you don't have to continue searching endlessly for a solution to your poor ball striking, or worse, feel embarrassed and stressed on the course. What do others have to say about the Square Set, right? So this is essentially just the social proof stack. One main thing we like to do with social proof, quick bonus tip, is you want to understand the main objections. For example, they have 5 different objections, then every testimonial should hit one of those objections, right? So it's not just random social proof, random testimonial. Each of these should serve one objection, right? So for example, finally the correct feel. I find the most difficult part of the golf swing to consistently get right is the arm hand position. Just prior to rotating the square to the club face, the square set helped me finally get the correct feel without having to guess if I was doing it right. So for example, one objection could be, okay, is this going to help me get the right arm hand position? So this is why they have it in social proof. So the point I'm making that this social proof is not random testimonials, but they each are around one main objection. Now we then have another call to action here, and then we essentially have the close. So the close works in a way where we don't want to box them in and say, you have to buy it. We want to give them a way out, but we then want to really directly position the offer as the better way, right? So here we say, using just one innovative swing trainer exclusively for golfers who struggle with ball striking, you can feel every position in your swing better and make consistently flush contact. The way we see it, you really have two options, right? So option one is to leave this website. As I said, you want to give them a way out. And keep using the same old training methods. You can buy one of those expensive brand name training ads that are poorly built, continue struggling to keep the club face square throughout your string. Or you can shop for cheaper training ads online. Most of those products have the same design flaws that don't provide proper feedback, cost embarrassing methods, which is how they justify selling them for so cheap. Or you can try option two, right? So we want to position this as the better option. And that is to simply do what thousands of golfers before you have done and try the square set completely risk-free. It's not a coincidence you have spent the time on this page making it all the way to the bottom. It means you're ready to try something new, which is why I ask you to trust yourself in making the right decision. Because when you compare these two options for yourself, it's easy to see just how much sense this makes. Go ahead, tap the green button on this page below to select your square set. But remember, the special offer to save up to 50% off is only available for people who take action on this page here today. If you leave this page, the square set will only be available on the Performance Golf website for its full regular price, which is double of what you can buy it for today. Don't forget, you're able to try the square set completely risk-free. Use the swing trainer for entire session. Season, if for any reason you're not satisfied with the results, you have up to 1 full year to get a complete refund of your money. We cannot wait to hear about your experience with the square set. Your results are your first practice session, first round, first month, and longer. You're going to want to share your success story, your partners in golf, the golf equipment reviews team. Try the square set now, right? So the last things I want to talk about on this advertorial is this, right? So here, wrong color. So here essentially they say, hey, this is the only time, right? So essentially here we have some more scarcity, right? So here they say this is the only time you're ever going to see this offer. So take advantage, right? So this is essentially the bottom of the advertorial, right? Now, super interesting. And also let's go to the live website, which I have linked at the top, right? So from here, right, let's say I hit the call to action, I would then be pushed to this offer page, right? And then from here, I would then be pushed into the checkout. So this is essentially then how the flow works. Feel free to check it out. I have the link at the top here. Now, if you want to dive deeper into all of these direct response mechanisms, then I really suggest to watch this video where I talk about where I essentially give you the whole SOP of how to build this from scratch, right? So literally complete SOP for how to build these funnel types from scratch. And then also if you want help with execution, then feel free to schedule a call with me and my team, right? So you can get a quick explainer video of how we work together with brands, help them with advertorials, help them with unique mechanisms, with copywriting, with offer creation, funnels, conversion optimization, all of that. So if that's interesting for you, just click on the link, watch the explainer video, and then jump on a call with me and my team. And then we're just going to walk you through how all of this works for your brand to help you double your revenue this year. Now, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below with your thoughts and also if there's certain types of content you want to see in one of the next videos. And then I'm going to see you soon.